So let's play to QB or not to QB. You got to roll that one a couple times.
To QB or not to QB.
Alex will give me a team, and I will tell them if they still need to find their starting quarterback this season. Let's begin.
Well, let's start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need a QB. It's going to be a bridge year no matter what. They're in a bridge situation right now because Brady retired, and that's fine. That's what happens when you bring in the GOAT. If he wants to leave, you take your championship and your successful second season, and you deal with it. But there's going to be a lot of turnover on the roster this season in Tampa Bay. I think Jimmy G is a really good option for them. I know everyone hates Jimmy G, but he is a winning quarterback. He's very capable when he's on the field. Yes, he's going to give you some issues at one point or another, but you just deal with that. And I also think Teddy Bridgewater would be a nice option for them as well. Look, they got to completely rebuild. They have to move forward in a different direction, but they need a starting quarterback.
The Colts, QB or not QB?
They got a QB. I mean, they let Carson Wentz go, so they need to bring someone in. Now, what direction they'll go, I'm not sure. I think Mitch Trubisky would be a good option for them. They're kind of also in a bridge, stay afloat, stay competitive type of situation. Ryan Tannehill, Davis Mills, and Trevor Lawrence. As Cynthia mentioned earlier, this is still a division that is completely winnable. They do have a nice roster. I know things fell apart, but Trubisky had 3 or 4 winning seasons with the Bears. I know he's not great, and everyone freaks out, but he's going to get a starting job somewhere in the league, and I think the Colts would be a nice fit.
New York Giants.
Look, I'm out on Daniel Jones. I don't think he's a franchise quarterback, but they seem really committed to him. So it's Brian Daboll's first year there. He did make Josh Allen a lot better. I had a lot of doubts about Josh Allen as well, but Josh Allen does have the physical capabilities no matter what. Daniel Jones can run a little bit, maybe elevates him a little bit. They have until early May to decide on his 5th-year option, which would be $22 million fully guaranteed. But as we're discussing, this is the market, and they seem to be all in on him still this year. I don't get it, but maybe they just give him one more year and then let Brian Daboll pick the direction that he wants to go in for the quarterback position.
The Saints, QB or not QB?
QB, Jameis Winston. Bring him back. He went 5-2 with the Saints before he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So he could miss the start of the season, but they do have Taysom Hill. I don't think he's a starting quarterback, but if you need a couple games before Jameis comes back, he did lead the league in 30 interceptions his last full season with the Bucs. But if you can keep him under control, if you keep him in the system, he's coachable, then I think he will do a nice job with the Saints. I think they should bring him back.
Minnesota Vikings.
Not to QB. Kirk Cousins is under contract next season, $45 million cap hit, 3rd highest in the NFL. Maybe he has more success with the offensive coach and Kevin O'Connell this year. They don't have a lot of cap space, so they can't cut him. That's out of the question. So the only option they would have is to trade him. I know Vikings fans get frustrated with Kirk Cousins. I get frustrated with Kirk Cousins, but one thing Kirk Cousins knows how to do is make money. His agent, I mean, whoever he is, like that is
God
the dude.
bless him.
I always respected it, though. Always respected it. The whole situation in Washington, just keep taking that check. Kirk Cousins knows how to make some money now. That's what he does know how to do.
Carolina Panthers, QB or not QB?
Yeah, they got to get a QB. Darnold's really struggled there. 17-32 career record, had 9 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, career low 71.9 passer rating in his 11 starts last season. Now they did trade 3 draft picks for him, but he'll be playing on his 5th-year option. They got to bring someone else in. I don't know who. Maybe they draft someone.
Yeah.
But at the very least, bring someone in for some competition and free agency with him because he's really not been great.
Yep. Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seahawks need a quarterback. Drew Lock ain't it.
Like now.
Right now. Now, I don't know what their plan is. I'm assuming they have one, being that you make a move like that. And I'm assuming it's not Drew Lock. It's a very tough division. You can't really go into the season with what you have. Again, market is bleak. Yeah. Maybe they draft someone. Maybe they bring in a bridge guy like a Jacoby Brissett. Could be a nice fit for this year. The one thing I will say about the Seahawks that's kind of interesting to me is, did they make this move with the anticipation of not being great at the quarterback position this year, bringing in a bridge guy, or going with Drew Lock and rebuilding the rest of the roster? They need a huge overhaul on the defensive side. They got a lot of picks.
Yeah.
In this trade.
So they're holding.
So maybe you just put it in a holding pattern for this year until next year in the draft. Use some of these, use some of this material that you have to work with and move up in the draft next year. And maybe you won't have to go so far because you won't be that great since you didn't have a quarterback.
Ooh.
That's my theory.
Burn. Okay. Eagles, QB or not QB?
Not QB. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. He led all quarterbacks with 10 rushing touchdowns this season. He had a really nice season this year, despite the fact that I was very skeptical about how this was going to go. Not necessarily because of Jalen Hurts, but they had a nice season this year. They got a nice roster. They're building something there. He should be the starting quarterback there next season. I know there's some questions about how he, is developing, but I mean, you look at the division, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, and Daniel Jones. He might be the second. I mean, I think he's better than Carson Wentz right now. I know that's outrageous. I know it's outrageous.
No, it's not. He was extremely impressive.
Well, he didn't just get cut.
Yeah.
or traded, but essentially moved on from. So I like Jalen Hurts. I think he has a lot of potential to grow and develop still. He's a unique quarterback, but he is winning games and he's productive. He did have the lowest pass percentage under their first season with Nick Sirianni, so there are some things to work with here. But overall, they had a nice season. It was well beyond my expectations for what they were going to do, so I think they stick with Jalen Hurts.
And last but certainly not least, your Steelers, QB or not QB?
Yeah, we got a QB. All right, it's very important that we QB in this situation. I don't want to hear about Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. Mason Rudolph is a backup quarterback. He's a nice backup quarterback, but they have some interesting pieces. Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, Pratt Freiermuth. Good defense, led the NFL in sacks the last 5 seasons. Obviously a Hall of Fame coach in Mike Tomlin. They have some cap space, eighth most in the NFL. Move forward with the organization. I like Malik Willis. Go for it. Mm-hmm. There's no rule that says if you draft a quarterback and he doesn't work, you can't draft another one. Cardinals just did that.
Yep.
You have to find your guy. This is a really tough division. If there isn't someone on the market that makes sense, I thought Carson Wentz would have been someone that makes sense as a bridge situation.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a high-level bridge guy, just rebuild for the future. You have a nice roster. You have nice young pieces around to build on. So I would go with Malik Willis, but that's what I would do.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.